to change my voice, make it so it sounds weird with fumes and editing the videos covertly as well. My phones are compromised as well. I want to talk about my war on poverty plan at 1/12 the tax rate. There's no excuse for this plan not passing, not even the slightest. Remember, there's a website to track every penny at 1/12 the tax of the original plan. Okay, that's not that much money to track per city. For example, we can do it by, and track this the money for the state, the city, what have you. Okay, so let's look at it like this. The original plan was $5 per month on average. Some people pay nothing. Some people pay $3 a month, okay, on average for less than millionaires. $200 a month on average for people who are worth $1 million and up. And $10,000 per year for billionaires. Okay, maybe on average or whatever. Okay. That would generate $60 billion a year, which could fund, a war on poverty plan that ends homelessness pretty much within a couple years, depending on how fast you can build the homes, at about $30,000 per unit. Okay, with just a sink, a shower, and a heater and a bed. And some of them are two beds for families and couples, and some are just one bed. Okay, and they can bring in other mattresses for their kids or whatever, because these are for homeless people who are supposed to be transitioning out, and getting jobs and scrambling to do that. Okay, and also provide, help redistribute vegetables to the homeless. They get thrown out. Okay, in Salinas, for example, the salad bowl, they throw out vegetables that are the wrong shape and size, and everywhere they do that, you buy trucks and distribute it to the homeless tiny home communities that we would be building. Okay, this will combat inflation, crime, sexual exploitation, incarceration, and all the fees associated with it, and so on and so forth. Okay, combat rape and so on and so forth. Desperation. It would also make it so everyone knows that if they ever went homeless, they would have some kind of home and some kind of minimal food supplied to them, and they would just have to, scramble with their network from there to get the other food that they need. Okay. The reason why I'm recording on the road is to see who's riding me. No one's riding me so far on the way. It's day 4. Anyway, so at the 1/12 of that, okay, that's 43 cents a month on average. Some people pay nothing. Some people pay like 20 cents. Like me, I'd pay somewhere around 20 cents a month. 20 cents a month. Okay? The rich, who are millionaires and above, being fumed a little bit here, they would pay $17 a month on average. So if you just have $1 million, so you might pay $5 a month, whatever it comes down to. If you have hundreds of millions of dollars, you might pay $30 a month, right? But you're not going to miss that, Okay, this would generate significantly, 1/12, right, of the 60 billion a year, which is $5 billion a year. Okay, California, which has, whose population is 33 million, and the population of America is around 330 million last time I checked, would therefore make 1/10 of that, which is 500 million a year. Okay? San Jose would therefore get approximately somewhere around 15 million or so every year at $30,000 per unit. Okay? Described the way I described before, right? We could then build these tiny homes, per unit on average, or we double it and maybe put 60,000 to a family unit, right? But, so per unit or per person. So another way to look at it. Okay, single unit, 30,000. One for a small, a couple or a family. You might double that, or 45,000 or whatever. Okay, so at 30,000 per unit, or per person on average, the housing building fees, okay, we could build 100 of them for $3 million. So that's 500 homes if we just focus on the homes in San Jose in the first year. Okay, and you use the pre-existing homeless services to get them the food and so on and so forth. But there's also maintenance fees, right? Electricity, water, because they have a heater and so on and so forth. And we'll have ways to limit how much water they can use and how much energy they can use per day. Okay, so it really be probably only build about 240 a year, and then have that surplus money for food programs and perhaps job programs. Okay. This could wipe out homelessness for good within 4 years or so, depending on how fast people build. So you would see no homeless, and remember, that's in every region, right? There's, every region would get their share of the $500 million a year for the war on homelessness and poverty and inflation and so on and so forth, because the money is circulating, money that otherwise wouldn't be spent. Okay. This is a no-brain plan. Your money will have more buying power, that much more buying power, at just, 43 cents a month on average for less than millionaires. Some of you pay 10 cents a month, just for taxpayers. Okay? This is a no-brain plan. I think one person just bribed me, wow, it's skunk. This is a no-brain plan. You see what I'm saying? This is a no-brainer. I'd rather launch the original plan and have money for, job programs and so on and so forth, and really start getting this country rolling. $5 a month on average. Some of you pay $3 a month. I probably pay $3 a month. I tip like $3 a day. So I'm not worried about it. If you can't afford less than $1 a week to launch an effective program that will be the model for all government programs in the future, say, why can't you be like the War on Poverty program, where they have a website where we can track the money not only on a federal level, on the bigger level, we can track it on the state level and the city level, and we can track it by regions, and in East San Jose and South San Jose, what have you. You see what I'm saying? This is a no-brainer. The people who reject this plan are called dumb fucks. This is one of the most obvious things that needs to occur in human history on a government level. This is obviously, I'm not a scammer. Okay, this, the money goes to the government. They spread it to regions. They form councils in the city or whatever. Now, part of the money also will go to, at some point, people who manage the process. There are people whose job it is to do things like that already. And then we can have volunteers the first year. If we really want to get it started quickly the first year, maximizing discounts and volunteers is very recommended. This person is bribing me. You see what I'm saying? So we got maybe 3 people so far this morning. That person clear-cut high beams. Okay? You see what I'm saying? This is a no-brainer. Now, what is in the way? What is in the way? I have several ideas. Okay? Social engineering. Gentrification. Look at all the luxury apartments they have shooting up in San Jose, right? They want the poor. This person has brights on too. See that? They want the poor miserable. So we're at 4 or 5. They want the poor miserable and gentrified, kicked out of the city. Social engineering, gentrification, eugenics, social Darwinism, right? The idea that certain scientific traits, and you can imagine which groups argue, who are the rich people, and they argue that their traits make them superior, and everyone else should kick rocks. Should leave or something, or you should die off, or what have you. That's why 3 million children starve to death a year, 9 million people starve to death a year. Okay, scientific racism, right, where they quantify their family lines traits, not just races, but sub-races, subgroups of races, and family lines, rich family lines, and they say that their traits make them superior, and because they tend to be from white, Jewish, LGBT, patriarchal lines, in certain types of people. That's what's going on here. Okay, the vast majority of whites, Jews, and LGBT people, vast majority should be on my side, especially in regards to this plan. So what I say to America is just do the right thing. Pass the plan in its original form. Double its original form if you can. Okay? The rich have over $50 trillion just sitting around. Okay? Pass the plan. Combat inflation, combat crime, wipe out homelessness in 3-4 years. Pass the plan. If you can't pass the original $5 a month on average for less than millionaires, and $200 a month on average for millionaires, and $10,000 a year for billionaires, at least pass it in its half form, in its 6th form, in its 12th form. Okay, so we can start the effective process of wiping out homelessness with the website for transparency. The website to track the money, encouraging everyone in America to work together to track the money, to weigh in, have a chat rooms, forums where people can weigh in on that particular topic. There's another person with their brights on over there on the left side, right? You know, coming toward me on the other side of the traffic. You know, well, it shows up, but the white light person. Harassing me instead of working with me to build the war on poverty plan, over my freedom of speech, freedom of religion, over my human rights. And I go as far as say, with the amount of income we have in America, folks, there is no excuse, I repeat, no excuse for homelessness. There should not be anyone homeless, okay? It is a failure of the culture, a failure of social policy, a failure of education and governance. Society failed the homeless. That's why they're drug addicts. When someone turns to drugs, it's because you people failed them. You failed them in terms of romantic justice, economic justice, social justice. You failed them. And you're going to sit there like you people don't game the system at record rates. Okay? Instead of taking responsibility like adult men and women and setting a good example for your children.